Hey everyone, Charlotte Bryan here, dog trainer and behaviourist. I'm here today walking my Border Collie Frankie, and I found another post on Facebook. And Facebook's a great source of content because everyone asks the same question, so it's great to be able to cover them on YouTube here. But the question I saw was all about walking your dog and how do you walk your dog? Is it loose leash walking? Is it walking right next to you? Is it walking? Does the dog have to walk behind you? Is the dog allowed to walk in front of you, or are they trying to dominate you? Is the dog allowed to sniff? Is the dog allowed to have a look at stuff, meet other dogs, all that sort of stuff? So that's what I'm going to cover today, and hope you guys find it useful. Remember, please like this video if you did like it, and I will do more content just like this one. And obviously, if you do like it, please subscribe to my channel because it really does help me out, and it will show YouTube that, oh, this person's quite good. So but anyway, so loose leash walking. Now I've got some criteria for my loose leash walking, or my walking in general, that I want all my dogs to stick to, and it's just clear and consistent among every dog I have and train. So basically, I allow a dog to have a sniff on walks first of all, and if my dog wants to stop and have a bit of a sniff, that's absolutely fine. So that's the first thing. Yes, I do allow my dogs to sniff on walks. My dogs can heel if I told them to, but when we just go on a walk through the forest here, it's really lovely. I'm not going to make them heel perfectly the whole time because that's just boring. Now, there are two reasons why you should be letting your dog sniff, and well, the first one is it makes your dog happy, because when dogs sniff, that action of sniffing actually releases oxytocin. And that oxytocin, as some of you may know, is the feel-good hormone. And we have it too as humans. And it's that hormone that's released, and it just makes us feel great, and we love it, and yeah, that sort of stuff. So that's the first reason why it's important that we let our dogs sniff. It is good for their well-being. It does make them happy. It actually makes them happy. And the second reason is it mentally stimulates them. Now, when we go on walks, dogs don't have enough time to process all the smells they see. They don't have time to just sort through everything they come across, because they come across so many smells in their walk that it's just impossible. They don't have time to. So you'll notice a dog that's been allowed to sniff on walks, I guarantee will go home and go to sleep. They'll go and have a lie down after they get back. And what they're actually doing during that time is they're actually sorting out all the smells that they encountered on their walks. They're sorting them out, and I like to think of it as a whole lot of filing cabinets, metaphorically speaking, in the dog's head. So they sort out these smells and they file them away for future reference. And that's how dogs can remember, because dogs can remember smells that they encountered months or even years ago in some cases, and that's exactly how they do it. Each smell they come across is unique to dogs, Frankie. Very good. And they're unique, and so dogs always store them for future reference and future when they need to refer back to them later on. So that is why I let my dog sniff. However, it is important that you're not just letting your dog do whatever they want. So you don't want your dog just pulling you over to different trees or bushes, or necessarily stopping at every single leaf or every blade of grass or whatever. So I always give my dogs a couple of seconds. So if they want to stop at something, so long as they're not pulling me towards it, I'll stop with them. And while they're doing that, I'll just let them, I'll count to 3. I'll go 1, 2, 3, just in my head. Then I'll go, okay, come on, and encourage them to come with me. You saw Frankie actually came with me then, which was really good. And what you do is it just shows them and teaches them that, okay, I'm allowed to smell, but when you say it's time to move on, it's time to move on. Too many dog owners you see walking down the street, and they're standing there and the dog's having a good old sniff, and they're like, come on, come on, come on, and the dog's like, no, and they go back and pull you back and want to keep sniffing. So we don't want that, but yeah, I see nothing wrong with letting your dog sniff few seconds and then moving them on. That's absolutely fine. So yes, I do let my dogs sniff. Now back to the loose leash walking. I like, if you can see Frankie here, I'll try and There he is. There he is. So when we go for a walk with Frankie, he's allowed to loose leash, he's allowed to sniff, as you can see here. And as long as he's got a nice loose leash, he can. Frankie, very good. So you saw that when I called him, he looked straight at me, good boy. And that's something you want to develop with your dog. It's called responsiveness and response to their name. You want to build that up as much as possible. And you can do that by just at home, when your dog's least expecting it, call their name. And each time you do, give them a reward. And what they'll do is they'll associate their name with getting something good. And so that's all I do with my dogs and my client dogs that I train. And it means that if you can get their focus in the home where it's no distractions, and you're also practicing that on walks, your dog will start to learn that, okay, looking at you gets me good things whilst we're on our walks. As you saw there, Frankie didn't need treats or anything now, because we fade those out. As per my last video, you can fade out treats. But it is really, really good when you're like walking along and you just want to call your dog's name. It's a great way to get their focus. Now, as to the walking position, so my dog, Frankie, will walk either next to me or slightly in front of me. Now, a lot of people think that when you're walking and your dog's in front of you that they're trying to dominate you. But that's not always the case, and it's definitely not the case with Frankie. He's just got longer strides and he's a dog who walks faster. He's got 4 legs rather than 2, and when he just naturally prances along, it is at his pace, which is slightly faster than my normal pace, and so that's absolutely fine. All I want from him is to just not put pressure on the leash, and he knows that when he's walking along and he feels the leash start to tense up a bit, he knows he's walking way too fast and he just tones it back. So there is nothing wrong with having your dog walking in front of you. There's nothing wrong with having them walking behind you. I don't go into all the dominance-based methods of dog training, things like that. I think they're slightly outdated and it's a bit old school. So yeah, I just let my dogs, so long as that leash is nice and loose and they're not dragging me over to places, and they can have a sniff, but as long as they can still listen to me. So even if Frankie's sniffing, I've just dropped the leash, but Frankie, very good. So long as they're sniffing or getting distracted, but they're still listening to you when you call them, that's exactly what we want. So I hope that makes sense, guys. It's just a quick overview on what I expect with dog walking. So long as that leash is nice and loose, so long as they're listening to you and not trying to drag you over to every single tree, I like to let my dog sniff, because respect, like dog training and stuff, it's all about respect, and respect goes both ways. If I show them respect, I show my dogs respect by letting them sniff, because I know it makes them feel good, it mentally stimulates them and things like that. If I show them respect that way, I expect respect in return by them listening to me and not dragging me all over the place. So I hope that makes sense. Please let me know if it doesn't, as usual. And leave a comment if you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.